Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we have an article named Why Do Star Wars Fans Hate Rian Johnson So Much? The question I have is where to begin? Because I see no end to the endless list of hate that Star Wars fans have for Rian Johnson. From his SJW politics and agendas put into Star Wars The Last Jedi, to the fact he completely neutered and killed off Luke Skywalker, one of the greatest characters in Star Wars lore. Nay, the greatest character in the lore of Star Wars. This article does nothing to address the hate that Star Wars fans have for Rian Johnson. So let's get into this article. Taking on the directorial role for a Star Wars movie is almost as risky as becoming President of the United States, for obvious reasons. You basically find yourself between a rock and a hard place, in pleasing your constituents, while still inspiring newcomers to accept you. Such was the case for Rian Johnson stepping in to direct The Last Jedi several years ago, because he took the Skywalker saga in a new and almost shocking direction. So the backlash was more than a little intense on social media, including people attacking him there. The backlash was full of people with razor whips and projectile-directed vomit at him on social media because they absolutely hated The Last Jedi. Fortunately, Johnson didn't leave Twitter. He was a specific way to respond to fans. Also has a lot of other cinematic aces up his sleeve in the months to come. It may be enough to redeem himself to Star Wars fans if he begins another trilogy at the turn of the decade. No, he isn't. How is he going to appease Star Wars fans with his movie Knives Out? It has nothing to do with Star Wars, and it's an anti-Trump movie. How does that help him? No, it doesn't. People will continue to hate Rian Johnson for his agendas. His new movie is not going to ingratiate us Star Wars fans with him. You'll find numerous essays over the last couple of years about what bothered Star Wars fans when Rian Johnson made The Last Jedi. Most reasons were because he went far and above what fans expected and took the story into left field, including surprising arcs before the main characters. Taking hold of a major media property and going against fan wishes is true bravery. However, it tells something a bit chilling about how many fantasy movie properties are more or less claimed by the fans with adamant demands on where the direction of the story should go. We all saw what happened to George Lucas when he went against the canon of what many fans wanted the prequels to be. Fans simply couldn't accept his own vision, which was admittedly weaker than what Rian Johnson came up with anyway. Oh my God, you guys are lying. Listen, the fans do own the property. It lives in their hearts and minds, and they own that. You can't take that away, and when you do, well, you're just going to end up losing those fans, Disney. Maybe you can blame the advent of fan fiction in the online age. Also, with countless Star Wars novels written by others, you could say this franchise was hijacked by others and taken in various directions not everyone could agree to. The next part of this article is, some fans will never forgive Johnson for The Last Jedi. That is true, because it was horrible. From the fact he was drinking blue milk all the way to the fact that he died in such a pitiable manner, you completely destroyed Luke Skywalker, Rian Johnson's, and that is why people will never forgive you for it. Oh yeah, you didn't even fix Rey. Rey being a Mary Sue from The Force Awakens and still being a Mary Sue in The Last Jedi. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't fix a character that people loathe, and only some people, or probably paid shills, actually love. You could have done something like improve her character, maybe somehow make her have human flaws and foibles. But no, she just has to be the strong woman and have no weaknesses at all. Let's get back to the article. The true diehard Star Wars fans still aren't happy with The Last Jedi for killing off Luke and the trajectory of Rey as just starters. At the same time, you'll find other fans who say it helped set a bigger creative challenge for upcoming The Rise of Skywalker. J.J. Abrams has already stepped up to make this happen, and we have a feeling some major curveballs are going to be thrown when it releases in December. Before then, though, Johnson is going to be having a new movie out already, being hailed as a masterpiece. At recent film festivals, Knives Out will likely remind everyone of how brilliant of a filmmaker Johnson is. Oh, you mean that propaganda movie Johnson made, Knives Out, where he's basically trashing on Trump constantly? And it's getting Oscar buzz because the ones who made it are paying off the judges at the Oscars? Well, yeah, it's a great masterpiece, and Johnson should be proud. No, he should not. Let's get back to the article again, and I keep stopping to keep making insults on Rian Johnson. He'll be taking the old Agatha Christie formula of the ensemble murder mystery and offering up some daring new twists. Yeah, right. In other words, Johnson is truly a rule breaker, something not always going over well in fan communities or even Hollywood itself. We're pretty sure Knives Out will do well at the box office, though thanks to its all-star cast, there's a good bet it'll set Johnson up for redeeming himself within the Star Wars community if his proposed new trilogy has a green light. Sorry if my words kind of slurred or kind of hard to really understand if that part of the video didn't come out right, because I can't believe they're saying this. Every time this guy who wrote this article writes something down, he's just shilling and shilling. And like I said, he's just trying to say this Knives Out movie will make it better for Star Wars fans to like Rian Johnson. No, it's not. How is a propaganda movie going to make us Star Wars fans like him? Now, a recent report says Rian Johnson isn't really sure if he'll be directing a new Star Wars so soon since the schedule isn't quite worked out yet. At the moment, there's a toss-up about whether he'll just go first or if David Burroff and D.B. Weiss will do their trilogy starting in 2022. If we had any say in the matter, we'd say Johnson should wait even longer before revisiting Star Wars. Doing so helps further prove him as an innovative filmmaker, as he already has before The Last Jedi, thanks to sci-fi films like Looper. Not that he can't handle all the critical Star Wars fans with his affable social media approach, considering he's always open to conversations on Twitter. He's been able to quell the tidal waves of criticism as a form of a miracle. This makes me want to laugh. It's just more shilling from this writer of this article. It's really beginning to piss me off. Let me read this one part of the article before I make any more insults. Waiting more years to revisit the galaxy far, far away will give more time and distance so he can provide something refreshing rather than feel like he's crashing a party where he's no longer welcome. Yes, he's no longer welcome. This is the only thing this writer has gotten right. Rian Johnson is no longer welcome in Star Wars or any fan communities who love Star Wars. And with him constantly on Twitter trying to talk with the fans, I have heard that he's been basically belligerent and insulting to the fans, and that he's done nothing actually good. He's just insulting people who try to talk to him, mainly because I guess people are ridiculing. It's just sort of hard not to ridicule Roundhead Rian Johnson, and he comes back and attacks us. I have heard he has attacked us. I'm trying to think of one specific instance, and maybe that's not such a good thing, but at least I'm saying it truthfully from my heart. Most of these SJW, shell-head, round-headed, and moronic-headed idiots who champion Disney Star Wars just attack us guys who actually enjoy good science fiction and good sci-fi and fantasy. And we're supposed to keep taking it and not insult back. A lot of the times we do that. But when we attack back and when we insult, we actually have facts on our side. And we can just point to the fact that The Last Jedi is a bad movie and that Rian Johnson is no real good director. The Looper. Yes, The Looper was a decent sci-fi movie. Not a great one, and certainly nowhere in the ballpark of the Star Wars movies. Or the original trilogy, I'll say. Well, I've said my piece, so I'll go into my usual spiel. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you are still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, just subscribe to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And could you please share this video, share it on Twitter, and share it on Facebook? Because YouTube is not promoting their creators' videos anymore. It would really help me if you could please share this video. It's time for me to promote my independent comic book again, so listen close. Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.